All right, here's what I want to get everyone's opinion on. So, someone came into work this week and asked for something, and they started saying the name of it, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then I looked it up, and yes, it could be ordered in. However, I didn't even know it was a thing. And then when I saw it, I'm like, of course that's a thing. Why wouldn't that be a thing? So it's called the Plaud, P-L-A-U-D, Plaud? Plaud AI Note ChatGPT empowered AI voice recorder. It retells.
So it'd be a dictation thing.
Yeah. So yep. It's basically just a voice recorder, but it's powered by ChatGPT, and you can record interviews, you can record voice memos, whatever, and it'll turn it into documents, I guess, as you go. So it costs $270, and then you got to buy the subscription thing to use it as well.
Oh.
Now, of course, I was like, well, of course this is the thing. But I straight away just went to thinking,
can't you just use your phone?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to say, my phone does all that for free. Yeah. Not for free, I bought the phone.
I'm sure it's the fact that it, I said, because I asked so it was a lady asking for a husband. I said, what does your husband do? Why do you want to get this for him? Nope. He's like a project project manager for building company or something. So she said that she thought it would be good because he has meetings all the time and he can just be recording them and record voice calls and all this sort of stuff. Straight away, my mind is going through if you're walking around all day just recording everything, technically, I guess you can, but I'm like, there has to be some legal ramifications somewhere to if you're recording every single voice call you have with a potential client without letting them know that you are recording them, right?
Potentially. Interestingly, this week I went into a doctor's appointment, and one of the forms that I needed to fill out before was they wanted consent because the doctor's using transcription AI to keep notes of the session or whatever, so you have to sign away consent that they're allowed to use the software.
I think I saw someone else post something about doctors all using that now. It's a crazy world, but it's just
I will say this is an evolution of stuff the doctors already use, from years of being IT at hospitals. Doctors would use dictation software anyway with microphones, and that was very common. It was a pain in the ass for people to set up. It was probably in some ways a very difficult thing to set up because of at the time text to speech wasn't what it is now. In a lot of ways, I see this as a productive use of AI. I could see this as I
have no problem with the doctors thing. I think that makes sense, and that's the sort of the stuff that AI should probably be used for to productivity needs, right? But the voice recorder thing about just walking around all day recording.
Well, I mean, he says he's using it want to use it in meetings. That makes sense, But
if you're on a phone
keep
call,
track of who says what said.
If you ring someone and you don't let them know you're recording, that's weird to me.
Yeah, that is weird, but it's weird, but also I don't know how legal it is. I mean, every time you ring a phone line, they say, oh, this is being recorded for training purposes.
Yeah, they have to let you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm is that just because it's a business thing? But then I'm but he's at work at his business, then he should have to let his clients know that he's recording their voice.
I'm sure he would, if it's a team meeting or something like that. But yes, to buy another device instead of just using your phone seems a bit excessive. But
I think it's just the fact.
I guess you want to use this phone at the same time.
Yeah, I think it MagSafe connects to the back of your phone.
Oh,
okay.
Yep, and then somehow works. I don't know. I didn't go haven't watched YouTube deep dives on it, but I was a bit like, okay, this is just interesting. It's not often that people come in asking for stuff that
you've never heard of,
literally never heard of, and then being like, oh wait, this is a real thing. People just throwing out company names and stuff. It's a cloud, whatever. I'm like, what are you talking about? Absolute nonsense. But yeah, I like what was I going to say? Oh, I like I said to her, I was like, your phone can do like iPhone voice record, and I'm sure it's the same for most other brands. It's like it voice records and then it gives a transcript anyway. Like there. Like it does it uses some sort of AI, basic AI to do it.
As long as it's a more recent phone, yeah.
More recent phone, yeah. So
or if you have an app, so specified app, I guess, yeah.
Which, I've used that, and then it's not 100% accurate. Like you have to go in and fix up shit or whatever. But like, it's still way better than anything probably even 5 years ago would have done. So,
I have no problem with dictation, all that kind of stuff. The sooner they can figure out the Australian accent, the better.
Yeah, that is I don't even bother for our I don't know if you bother. I don't know. But so for the clip videos we shit out from Riverside where we record, I just leave it to whatever the captions are, and the amount of funny little mistakes it puts in there, I just don't.
I need to go fix it if I'm going to send you something.
I think it's part of the charm. It'll say like if someone says Kieran, it's always like K-I-E-O-R-N, and then like some particular words, it's just maybe like Australianisms don't translate well enough across, and it comes up something else. But yeah, I can never. I just leave it. Whatever. It's part of the. Everyone then knows it's an AI video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't go in and caption that myself. The robots did. Whatever.
No.
It just started raining here. How's your?
Speaking of AI, actually, do you want to talk about the kids that you had in your store in the school projects that you were telling me the other day?
That's where I was. That's good point. Good point. All right, strap yourself in, Kieran, because
all right.
I was ready to flip my lid. Okay, so we at work, obviously, Christmas seasonal. So the seasonal casuals, right? So we got some in, and they're all, well, not all, most of them are, like 16, 17, sort of first job sort of thing. And I was talking to some of them, like, oh, what are you doing in school? Blah, blah, blah. Sort of that sort of stuff. Oh, I got to do this essay tonight, sort of thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll do that. And then very quickly, two of them would be like, yeah, just use ChatGPT. Just put it. And I was like, oh, I'm so confused. So, like, you like for any essays or works you've done this year, do you reckon you've done it? And you're like, no, just ChatGPT. I'm like, how do teachers not work it out? And then both in unison were kind of just like, oh, you put it in I can't remember the website or app's name. They're like, you put it in blah, 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 and it humanizes it.
What?
Now the one that really got me though, and it's because it involves movies, is that so one of them was like, oh, I had to watch a movie for my class or whatever, something like that. I was like, oh yeah, what movie? Oh, Shawshank Redemption. I'm like, oh yeah, great movie. Like what did you have to write? I'm like, oh, you had to write about like what you took away. What do you think the core meaning of the movie is or something like that? I'm like, okay, so what'd you do? They're like, oh, I just asked ChatGPT to do it. And then I'm just sitting there going, because it is like, this is what I said to Ash. That is the death of media literacy. Because to me, if you watch a movie and you don't take anything away from it, like even if there's some very obvious things, then it's like, okay, well, either you're an idiot or just the subject matter didn't work or touch you, or you're not the target audience, like all these sorts of things. But at least if you've like, you should just be like, I didn't. That's still an answer. That's a valid answer of like, I got nothing sort of from it, or even saying the completely wrong thing, like being like, I think it was about this, and then even if the writer director was like, it's nothing about that, but you're like, well, that's what I got from it. So at least that's something. But to be like, I watched an entire movie and I can't even use
you can't express yourself. Which is,
well, for one, you don't know for sure that they actually watched the movie.
That's true. That's a good point. Now, they said that it was okay. They said they found it a bit boring in some parts, which again, but you know, sit there watching TikTok for 2 hours, but
yeah,
watch a 2 hour movie.
It's like it just feels weird. Like it's like people like looking at a piece of art or like listening to a piece of music, but then turning to AI to tell them how they felt about it. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it's just weird.
I don't, and it's not like I don't like, you know, sometimes I'll watch movies or whatever, and you know, even like we've done spoiler casts for stuff or whatever, where I've been like, oh, I didn't get any of this or whatever, but I watched so and so do a video about it and they explained all this. You know, like I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, I couldn't understand or I didn't miss this, but someone else was able to explain to me. But like, it's the fact of being like, my thoughts, I have none. I'm going to ask a robot to create my thoughts.
I don't think it's that. It's, I don't want to do this work. I'm going to get ChatGPT to do it, you know? And now I've got free time to. Here's me, instead of spending an hour figuring out, expressing how I feel about it and putting an essay form, I'm just going to get ChatGPT to do it. And then I'm going to use this other thing and it's all done in 5 minutes. And now my homework's finished. What that says to me is that probably in education, they need to change. Really, the students potentially are screwing it for future generations where they're going to have to do these essay writing in class under supervision where they can't use ChatGPT. You know,
that's what.
Well,
they're going to have to change something.
Realistically, though,
it's just going to be exams from now on. That's all the marks are going to be.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It's just going to end up screwing these kids in the long run because they'll get to the exams at the end of the year and they're fucking flop horribly. Like they'll flop horribly because they haven't been able to give them writing skill. And then I guess maybe they should empower them to then retroactively go back and re-look at the grades, because if you can display essay results in kind of when you're able to go home and take them home or whatever, but at the same time you can't do that in a written format, it just, yeah, there's supposed to be some difference, of course, because two very different settings, people are more comfortable in that situation. You're not writing under a time limit, but there shouldn't be as much of a fluctuation as there probably is.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that, you know, the social media ban thing starts on the 4th or something, I think, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
really,
yeah, apparently. Like, however, that's not going to. I mean, that's
how it's not going to work. Yeah,
how it's not. We'll see it not work, but that's apparently. But I'm surprised they haven't tried to put some restrictions on that as part of that. I mean, they banned like Kick and everything.
But the thing is, I think as a whole, though, the problem is that AI in general is a very unlegislated and kind of controlled thing within our political landscape as it currently is.
Yeah.
So it would be very difficult almost for them to implement it as part of this, because I think there's a lot of work that needs to go into defining what is okay to use as AI, what isn't okay to use as AI. We haven't seen any governments take a stance yet across the world, take a heavy stance against AI or kind of to regulate AI and to you know, the economic strain it's going to put on, the environmental strain it's putting on the world, but then also, you know, the moral concepts like is like using AI to recreate somebody's voices. We've all probably seen TikToks where like they're already kind of recreating actors' voices or recreating people's voices in different formats. Like, yeah, it's something that isn't gonna, like, it needs to be like kind of regulated and needs to have it looked at. It's just I think the world's almost waiting to see who's going to do it first.
I continue to find it like such an interesting subject, and one that I even struggle with, like even with my own views, or constantly try and like draw what I find acceptable and stuff, you know, because it's like I'm the fucking, you know, I'm the fucking greenie, registered greenie fucking, you know, like a lot of these things I should be like very against. And for the most part, like I'm very aware of all the environmental problems and stuff like that. But I'm like, it's not going to stop, like full stop. So I'm just trying to like, I'm on a constant internal battle of like, where's the line? I guess, you know, like what is because from my understanding, it's like most of the supercomputer stuff that's going to ruin what remains of our little Earth is like all the, you know, mostly the generative AI stuff and whatever else. But then like if you just ask it to help with
directions, it's not going to be
spreadsheet problem, it's not going to and even then I'm not 100% sure if I'm correct in saying that, but you know, it's just like a constant thing of like trying to work out what's, you know, like even the little bit of AI that the voice recorder app on my phone uses to create the stuff. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's all just internal stuff. Like that's just an internal chip in my phone that's doing that. I think
12 supercomputers.
I don't think it's 12 supercomputers. I think the supercomputer stuff's mostly like the AI movies and pictures and the voice stuff and whatever else, right? I think so. Which is mostly the stuff that collectively everyone seems to agree is
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real weird, and I definitely feel like 2026 because I feel this was the year where most of it just like sped up, right? It like ramped up from like ChatGPT and all the different versions of the AI versions that different brands own. It's like 2025 just saw that ramp up. Like
it feels like it's been enforced on everybody.
Yeah,
everything.
It's been integrated into your phone, into this, into that. Like it's
Google.
You know, I asked Siri something. It's like, do you want to use ChatGPT? I'm like, just fucking answer. I asked what the weather was, bro. Like, you know,
it's like, aren't you the AI on this that it's supposed to?
The one that's worrying me is now we're seeing the first instances of, and this is where it's dystopian in nature. Is like we're seeing things from movies gone past or from writing gone past coming to fruition. Like we're starting to see these apps where like the person you're messaging on you're messaging and talking to the AI and it's pretending to be a woman, it's pretending to be a girlfriend, it's pretending to be some fantasy situation, and it's like, oh god, I've seen this in Blade Runner, I've seen this in Cyberpunk, like I know where this is going. Like this is weird and uncomfortable that this is happening within our lifetime. There's just
I know there's whole Reddit sub-communities of people who are in relationships with their AI.
Yeah, that's wild.
And like engaged. They asked the AI to marry them and that kind of stuff.
That's kind of what South Park was making for that this season. Did you watch that episode? Or did you only watch
I haven't caught up on this latest season.
Yeah. I think it was the second or third episode. But it's like is it Stan's dad or whatever? Yeah, I can't remember. Like he just like constantly walking around asking his phone, which is obviously ChatGPT, like all day, just being like, "Hey, do this." And there's like even a scene when he gets into bed and he's like, the camera's like just showing him, and he's like, "Good night, honey," and his wife's like, "Good night," and then it's like, "No, he's talking to
ChatGPT."
Yeah, sort of thing like that. And he's like starts a whole business plan with Towley based on what ChatGPT says.
Watch that one, yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the one. So. It's funny, but I mean, the other thing is, and because it's such a broad term, right? It's like I've got a RoboVac in my house, right? That uses AI to a degree.
I mean,
but
that's the issue. Like you say AI,
such
you
a
only
broad
mean
term.
a very specific portion of AI.
Yeah, I think the term that I do think it's like when you the bad term is basically generative AI.
Yeah,
I think that's what this comes to, like AI built into my robot, which is part of its computer chipset or whatever to work out and know what to do.
Use all this content that you've stolen to come up with something for me.
It's not. It hasn't downloaded the works of 20 authors to to know how to vacuum my floor.
Yeah. We assume.
We assume. I don't know. It's a bit different. I mean, it's marketed now. I don't know if you see any of the ads for like all the new Microsoft or the Intel CPUs or whatever, and then like the Microsoft ads
Copilot stuff.
Stuff. Yeah. Like that's the marketing now. Like everything is just like I feel like the fear, because I've had to see some of the marketing like banners and stuff change at work. Obviously, tell them to fuck off.
I did.
It's like they're not afraid, I don't think, of people being turned off by the word AI anymore. Like if everyone's switching their marketing to being like big banner saying like this has AI, and people are supposed to be like, yes, that's what I want, instead of I feel like at the start of the year people were still a bit like we don't want to make it a big part of the marketing that the Samsung phones and the iPhones or whatever all have these AI features. It's just like it's there. We talk about it, but we're not like heavily talking about it, sort of thing. So, holy fuck, this land! You won't. I mean, no one will be able to hear it because technology and AI audio processing will make sure that you don't hear the rain. But boy, is it loud! This is another thing, right? As we've been recording podcasts for nearly 10 years. 8 years, right? Yes. And I think, honestly, the recording in this and then like having it just do do some AI audio like stuff in the background does save a lot of work. But again, that comes under the productivity side of thing, I guess. I'm like, they're like, do you want to enable like to reduce background noise and stuff? I'm like, I don't know how you're doing it, but because I remember
pressing that button a couple of times on Audacity.
Yeah, like the amount
noise.
I don't know. I do way less manual editing and worrying about reducing background noises and making sure our audio levels are the same or whatever, just because of like recording on this platform, or there's various platforms like this now that have similar feature sets. So I don't know, man. It's a hard world, and it keeps me up at night.
We just have to wait till it gets sentience, and then that's the thing we have to worry about.
Yeah, that's the problem. But that's probably a day away at this point, to be completely honest. Hey, anything else been happening in your lives?
Probably. I had the weirdest experience a couple of days ago, and Dylan, you might understand this, or you might not if you haven't done such a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I decided this week I was going to play Riftbound at my local game store for the Nexus night this week because was, I think in general, just work-life balance. I think all of my socializing outside of work, 90% of it is done sat in front of this computer with friends online playing video games. And I'm like, man, I need to do some shit where I'm hanging out with people, meeting people in person. So fuck it.
I mean, you would. I already on board because you would have noticed. I did make a conscious effort this year to increase my outside socializing. With people.
You've been raving like 120% more.
He has been.
Yep. Very true.
So I had this weird experience the other night where I packed my bag full of my Riftbound stuff and I drove to my local game store that was my internet cafe that I spent a fuck ton of time at growing up as a teenager.
Guff.
I just had it was a Guff. It's now called something else, but okay. I just had the weirdest fucking nostalgic feeling. Like the moment I parked, I was like, I don't think I've parked in this street with the premises of going into that store to play a card game or to do something in that store for almost a decade. Like,
before you continue, I got a very good question to ask you about this because I've thought about this subject before. So when I had my big game store time as well, I don't recall the last time I was there. And like, I definitely don't recall thinking this is the last time I'm going to come here.
No, 100%. Exactly the same. Yeah. Exactly the same. I didn't have a thought of this is my last time. I haven't had, I didn't have that thought. I didn't have anything. I can't even remember what it was for, like why I was there. It was definitely like a TCG or a D&D thing or something.
I remember going to an F&M and then just life,
Yeah.
and then I just stopped going weekly. Like that was my last weekly
Yeah.
FNM. Yeah.
And yeah, it was the weird experience. Like there was no mental thought process of I'm stopping this. It just fizzled out of my life, and I didn't go.
Mhm.
And then walking up, like got out of the car, like pulled my bag, and the store door was open. And the way they have the counter set up was the person could see outside the door. And the person working was somebody I used to be really good friends with when I went to this internet cafe. So like instantly as I'm walking up, because like I'd already like put my like thing in that I'd be part of the Nexus night and everything. Like it was really fucking weird. Like it was like talking to somebody and like between the two of us, even though there was a hey man, what's going on? How you been? Blah, blah, blah. It was instantly very much falling back into like it was very comfortable. It wasn't like a weird thing. It was normal just to be hanging out. Yeah, it was a very weird situation that I was just like at 31. I'm like I never expected to be because that was part of my thing was like part of my thought process of being 31 going back there was like, man, there's a fuck ton of like kids or like people in their early 20s. I'm probably so fucking screwed in this situation. I'm not going to know anything. But no, I actually had a really good time. I really enjoy Riftbound actually. I wish that
was it a bunch of old people?
No, it was a good mix. It was actually a good mix. It was a fair number that I knew from back in the day, which was very nice. And then, yeah, on top of it, like it was, Riftbound's great. Riftbound's a lot of fun. I wish I had. Oh, look at that Lux. I really wish I had access to cards though. That'd be really nice. Other than fucking because they just didn't sell enough of them. So, although they didn't make enough of it for the first set.
They were worried about it.
And
that seems like an issue.
And as well, so stores are having to pretty much all the booster boxes that they did get sent, and even though they haven't sold yet, they're now saving to be prizes for their not for their events. So you can't go in and buy boosters. You can't go in. So it's like I've got 2 starter decks that I'm like I've like with a couple booster packs I've got so far adjusted the Victor deck. I've got a little bit. It's still not great. And then it's funny, like people were just like throwing cards at me in the night, being like, here's this. I've got extra of this. I've got extra of this. But it's so weird to want to play more of this where I'm like, bruv, I wish they'd just make more. And I'm really desperate to hear that, we've actually printed more or we're doing another supply. I don't think they will because they've just announced their second and third set and their second set comes out in February.
No, they'll still do
increase.
More. They'll increase because it's the first set and everything. Also, I wouldn't be surprised because I've seen a bunch of the eBay prices for cards. I definitely feel like their scalpers went crazy for like.
There's the one thing I'm looking for. So they did they did what they called the Proving Grounds, which was like the starter set where there was like 4 decks in the starter set.
That's what I got sent.
Yeah, that's what you got sent. Yeah. And so it is like $60. It was $60 retail here in Australia. It's currently selling for $300 online.
Wow.
But the worst thing they did with this set, right, is there are cards you can only get in that.
Yeah.
And that have become staples for the meta in general, which is fucking insane.
As obviously as more of a most of the card games get like collector than player scenario, my first thing when I was opening it was looking at the numbers going, and then because I opened a booster and like being like, no, these are numbered, like these are part of their own. These are they're numbered separately. These aren't part of the core set. Yeah.
So there are a number of cards in the Proving Grounds box. That's the only way you can get it. Or the other way you can get them is special promos for winning games at Nexus Night. And I'm like, you motherfuckers. So yeah, I was like violently. I've been to a couple game stores. There's nothing around at the moment. So yeah. Yep. Riftbound though, pretty good.
No, that's good. So you're going to go back?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'll keep playing. There's a skirmish night on this week, which is like a bigger event with larger prize pools and like it's like a regional thing. So yeah, I'll play that. I probably won't do too well, but yeah.
Was it weird? Did you find it weird? Like solo?
Yeah, like it was weird to do it solo. Not really know who was going to be there. But also at the same time, I feel really good for doing it. Like I felt like that kind of that positive social kind of energy from it was really good for me. So it's definitely something I need to do more. I need to continue to find ways to put myself in social events outside.
Tell me, you should know I'm a big supporter of solo energy, whatever you want to call it. So
you are, yes.
Yeah. But which I find so weird because that's how I can the amount of things I'll happily do by myself and have done by myself, and it's always I can tell who people are like so like reliant on their friends or partner or whatever when they freak out at even the idea of going to the movies by themselves. I'm like, that's nothing. It's watching a movie. Like, yeah. What are we talking about? I do think because I still have this going theory, and I think I talked about it on here or somewhere at some point about how I do feel like collectively, at least my feelings in Australia are people want to be more social. I think maybe that's like a whether or not people realize it or not, I think maybe that's a combination of things like post-COVID, whatever. And I do think that's like that can lead to different things because I would say like there are so locally, for example, retail stores closing. There's dead shops, more bars opening, more coffee places opening, more clubs, whatever. Like lots of people where people like, I don't want to spend my money on shit, but I want to spend money doing things with people. And I think I also associate the card game takeoff, which we've talked about before in Australia, like especially when it comes to Magic over the last couple of years. I think it's the same sort of thing. I think it's like post-COVID, psychologically, I just feel like everyone was looking for shit to do with people in the real world sort of thing. And I think all that's part of the same thing, I think. Because I do think pre-COVID, I don't think trading card games were like an inch of closeness to how massive most of them are now in Australia.
No, definitely.
And I don't think I really don't think that comes down to like, oh, but maybe it's because people try and say it's because of the Magic crossover sets and stuff. And I'm like, I'm sure that draws in more interest, but I don't think that's the core reason. I generally think it's just people being like,
I think it's the thing where this is probably like one of the biggest things of me being jealous for not jealous, but like wishing I'd lived in like a slightly bigger city or town. Like I just wish, I'm jealous of people in Melbourne who have multiple places and multiple events that they can go and play TCGs and to do this kind of thing. Like it's a really cool thing.
That's why I got to move, man.
You do.
I feel like I don't know what would be the longer like thing. Me moving to Melbourne, the longest long-term Dylan story, or me opening that copy of Elden Ring.
Oh my god. You're more likely to move to Melbourne than you are to fucking the Elden Ring.
I mean, that needs to be the thing that you do when you break in their new place.
That's a very good idea.
Housewarming party. Play the Elden Ring.
Yeah, housewarming stream, move to Melbourne, I crack open Elden Ring. And stream that. That's a pretty good idea, actually. It's very niche to lore of
$1 million
Explosion Network, but yeah. But it's a good bit. All right, let's record our couch.